Hi, what I have in front of me here is a HDMI modulator with a single DVB-T digital terrestrial output on it. The basic purpose of a unit like this is to take an input from a HDMI source such as the Sky Plus HD box and turn it into a terrestrial digital signal that can be distributed around to TVs that have digital tuners on them, okay? So it has a great advantage there that increasingly TVs have digital tuners on them, and also I'll say if you're using traditional analog modulators, they distribute the picture in standard definition, while this of course can do it in HD. So it really is good, and we can do a lot of cool things with it. We can stack these and have a number of different boxes where we actually have several channels being filtered in together, and also I'll say we can combine in something like a UHF aerial into it and take a feed from a Freeview or a SareView TV aerial and combine it in and add this in almost as an extra channel. So let's come along and look at what comes in the outer box here. So for the outer unit here, we have a power unit. It's 12 volts and 2 amps. We have a user manual, which is in English. It gives a quick overview of the various settings, etc. on it, because there's quite a number of menus in this, but the majority won't be really used here. And what we have here then is 4 plugs and 4 screws, just for mounting this unit. You can see there's little holes here if we wanted to mount it up, okay? In terms of the actual output on it, it sets it by default to MPEG-2, so it's very handy there because it means that it's compatible with both Freeview approved and also SareView approved TVs. So once again, applicable for use both in Ireland and UK, but obviously most European countries as well. So what we'll do at this point then is we will give an overview of the actual unit. So I'm just going to take a look at the actual front display here. So we can see here we have a series of buttons on it. We have a lock button, an OK menu button. We have just selection buttons then, left and right, up and down, and little LED displays to show the extra information. And what we have here is we have an LED screen here as well, or an LCD screen, and it just gives access to the menus, and if we're changing settings, etc., you'll see it in a few moments in operation here. It's just displayed on the screen here. So it's a very self-contained unit to that extent. And if we come along, we look in the back of the unit. I'm actually going to start from this side here. So we'll just look at the inputs first of all. So we have our 12 volt power input here. We have our HDMI input here. Sort of strange the HDMI is an input, but that's exactly what we have here. We have a USB port here, and the purpose of the USB port is to either back up the settings on this unit, or if we're upgrading the firmware, etc. We have an LTE filter switch, so we can decide to turn the LTE filter on or off on it. It's off by default. What we would do is, we'd normally need LTE filtering if there was a chance of LTE interference, which we may or may not detect, and that's generally if we had an external aerial, something like a UHF aerial, which might be pulling in local 4G broadcasts, something like that. And then what we have is, if we wanted to add in a UHF aerial, it'd be on this input here, and then this is the output here. So basically, in the simplest format, what we have is a HDMI input here, and simply a digital terrestrial output on this feed here. So what I'm going to do at this point is, I'm actually going to demonstrate this in operation and the setup, etc., using the Sky Plus HD box that we have here. So we have a Sky box here. And what we want to do is we want to output it as a digital terrestrial signal over to this unit here. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to lean down here. I'm going to get a power input, and we'll just push it into this unit here. Next we'll come along and we will get HDMI leads here. And so this will be taking the output from this Skybox and feeding it into this unit so it can be fed back out as into the TV. And now we're going to take this cable coming from this TV over here, just going to mount it up on top here. And what we have here is we're going to feed this into, from the output here, so this RF output here, directly over to the TV. So Skybox done. So the first thing we notice, we have no output on the screen. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn this unit around, and we'll look at the display here on the front. I might just move to the front of the stage as it is, so I can just talk you through this a little bit better. So I'm just going to bring this into focus here. So what we want to do here is, I just want to bring up the menu here. So I'm going to bring up the menu, and it tells us by default this unit is set to channel 43. Now, I have sort of cheated here, and what I've done is I've set this TV up here, set on channel 44, but as we can see, it's the wrong channel number we've selected, so I'm seeing no display here. What I could do is I could simply come along, set it to channel 4, and we'll still note no picture on the screen. But if I come along and say, yeah, that's what I want to do, if I had made a mistake, I could actually arrow over here and select no, because I'm happy with my decision. I'll come along here, I'll save the setting, and hopefully we'll see a picture now. So actually we can see just what the skybox is set to here is now being displayed over, and it's not been done by a HDMI lead, it's been done with this RF lead here, but it's sending over as a digital terrestrial signal with high definition quality, okay? So what we'll do here is I'll just go back to menu, and we'll go now through the menu options here on it. So that's the main one people will be using, but there's various settings here, cons, and the error correction here, the FFT on it, the guard settings on it. We could change the name of the channels. So we could arrow in here, we could press this button, we could save certain settings on it. We could change it and we'll say set the name by arrowing up and down to change the letters here, and then moving over left and right using these to come along, and we could set it to certain things. So we could set it to, we'll say, the Skybox or EWTN or whatever is the relative name of it. So we'll just keep going here as we arrow through. We can set the RF level on it, so it's giving a 0 dB boost, but we could change the boost level on it. And the LCN, that's just a logical number thing on it, the type on these. So just into a lot of technical stuff here, the network name, the audio bit rate, the MPEG setting, MPEG-2, the auto PID, video, PMTI, all the rest of it. So you'll see here, it's and the resolution here, it's just auto detecting when it's taken in here, and LED off, and you can do a factory reset. So you mess around, make unhappy with settings, you want to go back, you can just choose this here, and that's it. Say it's a USB one version, and then we're back down to the main menu. So you can see there's about 20 sub menus inside the entire thing. So let's think about extra things that we could do with this. Well, just say we had 6 satellite boxes that we want to distribute around. We could stack them on top of each other and loop each one through and set each of them to different channels numbers, okay? And so we can build up sort of a head end then of digital terrestrial signal and send it out that way. We could combine in the UHF aerial, which I'm actually going to demonstrate at this point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just leaning back here, and this is a feed from UHF aerial. So I'm just going to grab the remote control for the TV, and I'm just going to go to channel number 1. And you'll just see here, it's set to an Irish terrestrial digital channel, but there's no signal there now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this feed in here, and suddenly it works. Okay? So just go back to 1, 2. We'll go back to the sky feed here. So you can see there, that's very handy in terms of we're actually being able to come over, and we've joined in this feed coming from this box here, along with the thing. So overall I would say, I think it's a fantastic thing. It's a very, very common question we've been asked. People have come along, they've upgraded their TVs, they have a Skybox, they want to send it to all the things, and they want to have it. So you can imagine if you're in a situation where you have a pub, let's say you're paying a lot of money for Sky Sports, and all of a sudden you were being forced to downgrade the picture quality and send it to the various TVs. So you can do it this way now. You can set it in high definition, or if you've brand new TVs that don't have digital tuners, this is how you can run directly to them without the need to run HDMI leads. You can use traditional splitters, all the rest of it, so all the infrastructure you would have had in there for TV distribution, it's all completely compatible with this. So it really is a fantastic product, and I think it's going to have a great niche in the market. Odyssean, who manufacture this, super company to deal with. They have a lot of really, really innovative products, but this for us is one of the best. So that's it anyway, an overview of the HDMI modulator.